All right, here we go. Another episode, Dad Bod Dathlete. We got a success story to bring you. This one's with my man Daniel, who is coming from God's country out there in Montana. So, Daniel, how's it going, brother?
I'm doing real well, Travis.
Awesome, man. I'm excited to have you on the show and just kind of let you share your journey up to this point inside the Forge Father. You're saying this new year, 2021, has certainly come off to a good start. You found a dollar. You found a dollar bill outside of your work, huh? You
Yeah,
know
it was uh,
that's when things are
it
going
was
good.
it was it was. I knew it was going to be a good day. I mean, I found a dollar. No one else was looking for it. I could put it in my pocket and keep on walking. It was going to be a start to a good week. So I was pretty excited by that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Good deal. Good deal. I think we all know 2020 was quite the year. Ups and downs, twists and turns, a lot of things that we couldn't control. But I will just start off with this. With the resistance that you faced, you controlled just your effort and your commitment to the process. And I mean, here we are. You could have easily thrown in the towel many a times, just like a lot of guys. We face a lot of different things, and so here you are. So I just wanted to say kudos to you. Sticking on the path and just staying with it. Where a lot of guys would just easily say I'm done. So here we are, man. So Daniel, why don't you just do a quick little introduction, man?
sure. Yeah, like Travis said, I've had some ups and downs here, but how I got here is kind of like a lot of dads. Where get to a point in your life where you used to be somewhat of a big deal to yourself at least, and if not the people around you. And you find as you kind of get into caring about more than just yourself, you're caring about your family, you're focused on all those aspects of your life and you want them to go well, you kind of lose focus on yourself. And that's where I was more involved in making sure that my family and my kid was doing what they needed to do and getting what they needed to get, not really taking care of myself. And it started the show. And I probably, like a lot of people that end up here in this program, I was looking for a solution. So I started like anybody would, on a break, scrolling through Facebook ads and Facebook stuff. And all of a sudden I came across Forge Father. And, like most people are these days, where everybody's a little skeptical about clicking on ads and doing those types of things. But what was really comforting right off the get-go, and I knew it was for me, was you called me. You called me. It wasn't like somebody else calling to set up an appointment. Travis, you called me and introduced yourself as the same person on the ad. And then I knew it was legit. I knew it was something
Yeah.
that was real, and that was made me at ease. And so, over his past 6+ months now being in the program, having that connection and being able to have good conversations with real people has made me stick with it immensely, because there's not, you got to stay accountable, right? You got to be
Mhm.
able to talk to somebody and look them in the eyes, whether it's on a webcam or through our meetings or do our weekly own up. Someone's going to look at that and they're going to
Oh,
notice
yeah.
whether you're putting in the work or not. I mean, if you don't physically see somebody's change right away, I know some of our guys here have had success stories of 40, 50+ pound weight loss, and you can physically see it on them. And that's
Yeah.
when you get excited. And so for me, I knew the accountability would be what I needed. And that, and being part of a team. I've always
Yep.
played team sports, tons of team sports. Any sport you could possibly play and throw at me, I'm game. Oh, I still am. I just probably do a little slower than I used to, but I I always like playing team sports and being part of a team. And so this was that perfect opportunity to kind of rekindle that option to be part of a team, and it's worked well for me.
Awesome, man. Yeah, and it's so funny. A lot of when we're doing these success chats here, most of you guys have fallen into you've come across the program through Facebook, and Facebook, it is what it is. There's a lot of stuff on there, and so yeah, you're naturally skeptical, and so that's exactly why I reach out. And it's funny, I've had conversations off the bat, and I'll ask it, just that what you're saying just made me think of this. But I'll call up a guy and I'll say, "Hey, what's going on? I saw you're interested." And yeah, I saw that guy on some ad, like this rip dude. So it got me interested. I was like, "Yeah, that's me. That's you. You like, yeah, that's me. Really? Okay." And it's just, it kind of blows people away. So, but yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of crap out there, so it is what it is.
You
But
you don't have to show your abs to them like on the screen. Like, look, it's
yeah,
legitimately
that's
this
legit.
is me.
Yeah, I mean, it's And in fact, last week there's a guy, he just didn't believe me. He thought it was a scam, and it is what it is. And it's unfortunate because upon finding out a little bit more about this individual, like he had been scammed multiple times before, and he's like, this kind of seems like it's something similar. And I was like, okay, well, I tried, man, but it's all good. So all the best with you. But either way, yeah, it's been a hell of a ride. And so I guess what was happening before? So you're on the internet searching Facebook. What was happening in your life at that point, man?
You know, lots of stressful things, whether it was work or other stuff that just took up my time. And I had, kind of a home gym that I've had for a while. And, I have a background in fitness. And so I had the tools. I think I was even telling you, my mom, she's a personal trainer still. She's like 62 years old and she does personal training up in Canada. And, like I had resources, but nothing would click. And I was looking for motivation is what I was looking for. And I could not find it. I mean, everything took more priority for me. And so physically I had like just enough energy to get through the day and nothing else. And to me, that's not how I used to be. I used to have tons of energy. I used to play multiple sports at one time. Even in my 20s, I could still play like 2-3 games of softball and even get back up, get to work, do it again, go play hockey, pick up games with the high school and college kids. I didn't have that anymore. And so I was really starting to see that my 30s were setting in. And, I was accepting that. I was accepting that just how that was going to be, and that, that this is my life, And so at one point I just said, screw that. I'm not going to accept that. There's all these guys I see on TV that are 40, 50 years old and they're in better shape than I am. And why can't I? There's no reason except for making a choice. And so I did.
Yeah. I think that's the common issue that a lot of guys run into is, and like you mentioned at the start, it's you become a dad, you got your husband focused, you got your dad focused, you got your producer focused, and we just let that athlete focus just slip off to the wayside. It's understandable. It happens, because all this other stuff is coming at us so quickly that, we oftentimes think it's the selfish move to make if we're going to try to, put time into ourselves. But then we get to a point where now we're struggling to show up as a dad. We're struggling to show up as a husband and even a producer because we've let that athlete side of us slip so bad. And it's just, we got to put focus back in on that. And it's really about making that choice, because a lot of guys, they just get to that place where that's kind of life and they get complacent and they're cool with being overweight. They're cool with being run down all the time. And they kind of sweep that stuff under the rug and just kind of continue to put it off. And it's just going to lead you to a really bad place. So you made that decision. So we got started. Talk about like your initial start within the Forge Father, man. What was that like for you?
That was embarrassing. That's what that was.
I realized a little bit of humility. Yeah.
Oh man, I ate some humble pie and it was not tasting good. Yeah. I got into it thinking I was, still, you tell yourself, it's like riding a bike. I'll get back into it. It'll feel just the same like you used to did. And then you start seeing the rest of the group that you're a part of and you realize that I'm not actually putting in as much effort as I probably should be. What I thought was acceptable enough, I realized I could do more. Not that it wasn't enough. I didn't feel like it was. I didn't tell myself it wasn't enough. I felt like, oh, look, these other people are doing more and they're getting better results. I can do more too. And so it was kind of like a personal challenge. But yeah, initially, that first couple of weeks when we were trying to get everything dialed in before we kind of entered the program, the week 0, week 1, I struggled through those workouts. And it wasn't because they were like ultimately like super hard. It was just that I realized how far I could let myself go. And as much as I had limited the dad bod from forming too much, I didn't have the strength. And the big one I noticed was fuel. And I know we talk about it all the time that it's so important. I was terrible. And from time to time I catch myself here, but I was terrible about not eating during the day. Like lunch was not a priority. I had guys that work for me that would come into my office and say, hey, Daniel, we're going for lunch. You're coming with, put your pen down. We got to eat. You got to eat. We got to do something. And, right then in those first couple of weeks, I realized that I was not fueling properly. And no wonder why I had no energy at the end of the day. I was barely getting by, And so that was first couple of weeks was that realization where I was like, if I actually put in the effort to fuel myself properly and go after these, workouts with the same commitment as I do everything else in my life, I might get someplace. And that's when the kind of the light bulb came on, and I started just going after it. And I realized that I still have the same fire as my 20s. It's just the priorities of how I get there have changed.
Yep. Yep. No doubt. So yeah, you got started, a little bit of humble pie, like you mentioned, and that's exactly what it takes. Because a lot of times guys, like I was saying earlier, guys will get to that place where they've let their athlete self slip, their health and fitness, it isn't where it is. However, they'll just kind of sit around there until it gets brought, you know, or I guess gets thrown into their face. And it's like, dude, this is how out of shape you've actually gotten. Right. And then at that point, it's like you have a decision to make. It's like, okay, you're going to fix this now, or you're going to continue to let this go, or, and so you stepped up, you did that. And it's always the first few weeks is always the hardest because your body's sore. Your body's just getting thrown for a loop. It's, acclimating. So you're pushing through that, trying to get the nutrition, settled and dialed in. Oftentimes, yeah, like you mentioned, it wasn't that you're eating too much. It was, you weren't eating enough, so it was just kind of compounding on each other, health and fitness slipping a little bit, not fueling your body. So yeah, you're going to feel like crap. Right. So we got through those initial stages. What were, what are some things that have really paid off for you? Like different things that we've learned in the program. What has really helped, accelerate your progress?
The first one, and it's so vain initially, but it's those little things that get you going. I think I texted you when I figured it out. We're doing some body weight measurements, and I had realized within, I think it was the first 8 weeks or something like that, that my arms grew like 3/4 of an inch or something like that. It was like retarded, and but that was because I was putting in the work and I was doing all the right things. And yeah, so that was one of the first things that I noticed right away, is that I had physical change. And then the second thing was my wife started commenting, and she's like, you look way different, like you look way different. And the way she said it, I just kind of went, whatever. But, she said it, and then a couple other people started saying it. And that was you don't always go after the physical thing, but is the easiest thing to notice right away when it does change is the physical change of your body. And face got a little leaner, arms got bigger, like I said. The other thing that I noticed right away is that I slept better, which is a weird one maybe to say, but sleeping for me, I've always had trouble with sinuses and impacted sinuses. So breathing is kind of a struggle from time to time. And I deal with that on my own side. And, what I noticed was I first started working out, this may sound really gross, but I leak like a faucet. Like I have to have like a Kleenex box beside me because I just start draining. And I don't know what that is, but hey man, it's helped me sleep and have good deep breaths for the first time in a long time. And so side effects as it may be, but that was the other thing I started noticing. I had good sleeps, really, really good sleeps. So.
Sleep is just one of those silent, like gold nuggets, it's just like, it's so important, but guys don't want to focus in on it. In fact, one of the live trainings that we're going to do on Tuesdays, every Tuesday we do live coaching sessions, which we got the Strong and Shredded challenge coming up. So I'm excited for that. But a master class that I'm going to do with you guys, I'm going to revisit sleep. And so it's just like optimizing our sleep patterns and optimizing like our priority with sleep, because it's just one of those things. And, it's just like work. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Right. Well, it's just like, dude, if you were to prioritize your sleep, like imagine how much more efficient you're going to be with everything that you're doing, number one, but then number two, like, how much better you're going to be. Right. So, but yeah, it's crazy, man. So sleep has gotten better. You mentioned just body transformation as well. What for you specifically, like what's been the biggest breakthrough for you personally up to this point?
Well, outside of the physical, I think the biggest breakthrough for me is that I realized that motivation, and I know you say it all the time, we started with that motivation it wanes, it comes, it goes, but discipline stays. I have taken that to all of aspects of my life. And so whether it's work, relationships, and I know we talked a little bit about some of the hardships that our families had to endure over the past year here. And yeah, we could have quit, but you know what? Discipline. If I was looking for motivation to continue with things, I would have probably quit a long time ago. But the discipline to say to myself, look, it's tough right now, it sucks right now, but it does get better, and you just need to put in the work. I think you said it before, and I agree with it. And is that you never regret after you've gone to the gym. You may hate the idea of going to the gym or working out or putting in that effort, but when you're done, you always feel better because you did
Yes.
something, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And it's the same thing in my life, my personal and my professional life, whether it's my job or my relationships with my wife and my daughter is, you know, it takes a little bit extra time maybe or a little extra effort, but God, it's such a payoff when it does
Yeah.
happen.
Yep. It's earning those gifts that are the gifts can't be given to you. They can't be bought or paid for. They got to be earned through just that effort, through that discipline. And it's just might not show up today, might not show up tomorrow, but you keep showing up, you keep putting in the work, like you're going to receive these gifts in better relationships, just better energy, better health, better productivity with your job, more success there. And it's just like, if some guys would just get away from the instant gratification of just seeking that comfort in the moment, right? And you
Yeah.
mentioned like you and myself, we experienced hardships on the family side of things. We both had some losses that we had to push through. And it's like a lot of guys, the way they're wired is they give up in that moment. It's like it's so world is crashing down and everything seems like it's against you, and it will be if that's what you think. But if you just continue to show up every single day, put that foot forward, it might not be what you want in the moment. It might be super hard and painful, but man, you keep taking that step, like you're gonna receive the gifts. You're gonna receive comfort, in the long run, right? In various different areas of your life. Like easy way to put it is, with our workouts, right? Like there's plenty of days where I don't want to work out. I know there's days where you guys don't want to work out and we're busy, but man, there's nothing better than getting that workout in that you didn't want to do. That's when it's like triple the amount of satisfaction,
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, and
it's
you
great stuff,
said
man.
it. I mean, you put in the effort and it comes out in spades. Progress over perfection. I know you preach that here, and
Yep.
and I keep bringing up stuff we've talked about before, but because it sits with me well, it
Yep.
resonates with me, and it's helped me through this whole process, and really restructure a lot of things in my life. But progress over perfection. I know. We talk about books. We've talked about books and what people are reading these days, and Atomic Habits by James Clear.
Huge.
Yeah, huge. And I mean, he has a scenario in there where how much is rich, like is a dollar,
Yep.
how much makes you a million, how much makes you a rich person, is it this dollar, is it this dollar, eventually one more extra dollar makes you rich. Well, there's a breaking point, but it all started with $1 and you just keep
Yep.
adding to it, right? Same thing here, you just keep plugging in the days and the time, and
Yep.
it does the work for you. I mean, it's set up, all the structure we have here is set up for success if
Yep.
you do the work.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just going to happen.
hmm It's hard. It's hard to imagine. Sometimes it's hard to visualize. And this even stems back to, one of the first things that we do in the program is just owning up to the truth and then just having belief in yourself that you can be the man to, do the work and achieve the success that you want. But something that you mentioned was like your wife commented and said, "Hey, wow, you're starting to look really good." And then you got comments from other people. We don't see that change a lot of times because we see ourselves in the mirror every single day. So
Right.
like on day 1 versus day 100, you're probably not going to see a whole lot of change in yourself because you've acclimated to that change. You didn't see the subtle changes that were happening over time. And so a lot of times guys get in their head and they're like, I don't see any change. But if you just continue to show up and just keep pushing through that breaking point or that story that you got inside your head, it's like, boom, you are going to see the change at some point. Right. So, because if there's one thing that I can guarantee, and I know this is something that I've said before, it's like I can guarantee your failure if you quit. That's the only
Yeah.
guarantee I can make. I can't sit here and say you're gonna get 6-pack abs. Like you sure can if you put in the work. I can't tell you how long it's gonna take. It's different for everybody, but I can guarantee you this: like you will fail if you quit. So you
Right.
know that
Right.
works 100% of the time, all the time, right?
All the time.
So
That's true.
no, man,
Yeah.
that's so yeah, it's been a great journey, and here we are, start of the new year, 2021. Things have started off in the right direction. For you, what do you got? What do you got laid out for yourself, man? Where are we trying to get ourselves?
Sure. So from a physical standpoint, I think, I decided, I convinced myself that it would be a good goal to get after a Spartan race. And so we got that one coming up in my home
Hey,
area here, coming up in Montana in May. And
yep,
so as long as COVID doesn't do any damage to that schedule, we're right on track. So it's
yeah,
10 minutes down the road from my house, and
yeah,
I'm excited to give it a go. It sounds like a ton of fun. I've never done it before, but that's a goal for me to get to. And I know that they require you to be in a certain amount of shape. I honestly feel pretty comfortable that I'll be able to do the race that I'm taking on. So
Yep.
I'm excited for that. So that's a good goal. Entrepreneurially, we talked a little bit about this the last time we were giving our big three for the 2021 season is I work full time at a job right now for a company, but I'm looking to kind of branch off into a new business here in the Valley and bring forth a kind of a new business here. My wife and I are taking on together. So that'll be fun. Something her and I can do, kind of develop ourselves, and we think it'll help us kind of free up our lifestyle a little bit. So we're super excited for that. So and then we're trying to add to our family. That's always a goal that I've had forever. I love being a dad. I have a great time with my kiddo, so those are my goals this year.
Love it, man. Love it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to definitely seeing the Spartan race get completed again. Hopefully, with COVID and all that stuff, it kind of rolls out, and at that point, it'll be, the things will be a lot more opened up. And then, as far as your business venture, that I'm excited to see how that rolls out. There's no doubt in my mind, just seeing how you've developed and pushed through in this program, there's no doubt in my mind that's going to be a huge success. So that's going to be awesome. And then, man, family wise, it's, whatever happens there. And like we joke, it's like you can always keep practicing, right? So
you got to look forward to stuff like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Cool, brother. Well, I thank you so much for your time, your effort, your trust in the program, especially in the beginning. Again, I know a lot of things pop up on Facebook. It's like, I don't know about this. It looks too good to be true. And when you start to look at the success that it's created, I don't paint any I guess pictures of rainbows and unicorns. It's going to be a difficult journey. I'll just say that right now. Like it wasn't a quick fix type deal. It's still in the making right now. And so, and I think that's one of the big gifts that a guy receives from this program is he just experiences the ups and downs and just keeps with it. Though that's the result, really. The result is just staying on the path. The result is, the journey, so to speak. So, but Daniel, you got anything else that you want to add in before we close out?
No, I'm thankful. Gratitude is something we practice here, and it's been a long time since I've been actively practicing gratitude, but this program's helping me with that. And I'm just really grateful that I got a chance to join the program. I know there are a lot of people out there that are skeptical enough not to join up and to try that for themselves and give themselves back the earlier version, the better version of themselves that they want. And I'm grateful for the program. I'm grateful for the brothers I've met inside the brotherhood. The coaches that are in there outside of yourself have been super helpful, super encouraging. And even people that I've never met, face to face, I've never met anybody on this program. And I feel like we create a really good, safe environment. And that's another thing I'm grateful for. It's a great place to share and get support when you need it. So very grateful for that.
Absolutely. That's something I express my gratitude towards a lot with my morning routine, practicing gratitude. I mean, the brotherhood just pops up so much for me because it's helped develop me too, so it's just guys like you that are in the program that show up, put in an effort, that give a lot of care and, attention towards other guys. So it's pretty amazing, man. But exciting things on the horizon, man. So thanks again for coming on. Appreciate your time. I know you're busy. You better have got your lunch in today, right?
I did. I got a protein shake waiting for me for my snack today. So we're in good shape.
Good. Awesome, brother. All righty, awesome. Daniel, again, thank you so much for coming on. And I'll be seeing you on the inside. Strong and Shredded starting on Monday.
Excited, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Radio, man. I'll see you on the inside. Peace, brother.